So it's live streaming. So we all set, Ally?
Not yet. It's still.
It tells me
The
it's live. It
The
tells me
line
it's
is still going.
Pardon?
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay, thank you. Ally, could you please do your reading of the announcement for the public hearing for Flyin debt?
Yeah, does the customer need to be here though?
He's here, but he doesn't need to be here. He is here. Tim's sitting at the end of the table.
He's live. Oh, okay. Hi, Tim.
How are you?
Good. Okay, there we go. Notice is hereby given.
So it's live streaming. So we all set, Ally?
Yes.
Not yet. It's still.
Oh, wait.
Well, close your browser.
The line is still going.
Pardon?
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay, thank you. Ally, could you please do your reading of the announcement
Hold on a
for the
second.
public hearing for Flyin debt?
Yeah. Does the customer need to be here though?
He's here.
All right, I'm trying to close out of
Tim's sitting at the end of the table.
He's live. Oh, okay. Hi, Tim.
How are you?
Good. Okay, there we go. Notice is hereby given.
So we all set, Ally?
Yes. Not yet. It's still. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Close your browser.
all right, so I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing pursuant to Article 18-A of the New York State General Municipal Law will be held by the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Agency on the 3rd day of November 2021 at 9:15 a.m. local time via Zoom at the meeting information below in accordance with legislation S 50001/A.4001, amending subpart A of Part BB of Chapter 56 of the Law 2001 in connection with the following matter. Flying Dutch Enterprises LLC, a limited liability company established pursuant to the laws of the state of New York, having an address of 879 Route 22, Cambridge, New York, 12816, has requested that the agency provide financial assistance in the form of a partial real property abatement and sales tax abatements regarding the manufacturing to consist of the acquisition by the agency of a leasehold interest in certain real property located at 879 Route 22 in the town of White Creek, County of Washington, New York, the planning, design, construction, renovation, operation, and maintenance by the company of approximately 39,000 square foot facility to be used by the company for the manufacture and processing of cannabis, the acquisition of and installation in and around the land and improvements by the company of machinery, equipment, fixtures, and other items of tangible personal property, and entering into a straight lease transaction pursuant to which the agency will retain a leasehold interest in the facility for a period of time and sublease such interest in the facility back to the company, all pursuant to Title I of Article 18-A of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, Chapter 862, in the laws of 1971 of the State of New York as amended. The agency may be providing financial assistance with respect to the project in the form of sales tax exemptions related to the construction and equipping of the project facility, a mortgage recording tax exemption on eligible mortgages, and a payment in lieu of taxes which are consistent with the properties of the agency. Should other financial assistance be requested, it shall be consistent with the policies of the agency. A representative of the agency will be in attendance at the above stated time and place to hear the accept written comments from all persons views in favor of or opposed to the granting of financial assistance contemplated by the agency or the location or nature of the facility. The application of the company is available for public inspection during normal business hours at the offices of the agency located at 5 Warren Street, Glens Falls, New York, 12801. Minutes of the hearing will be made available to all necessary parties.
Thank you very much, Ally. So I'd like to introduce Tim Lorito from Flying Dutch. And Tim, give us a short synopsis of what you're looking to do in this project.
Yes, Flying Dutch is an Oregon-based company currently that holds a license for cultivation and processing in the state of Oregon. I'm a New York resident. We purchased the facility at 879 Route 22 last week, and I'm looking to apply and facilitate a processing and cultivation center there in the near future.
Thank you, Tim. I'd ask for any comments from the attendees. Any comments or questions? Any comments or questions? Having asked 3 times and not receiving any comments, I will close this public hearing at 9:26 a.m. Thank you. I now like to call to order a special meeting of the Warren Washington County IDA. Ally, could you take attendance, please?
Craig Leggett,
Here.
Michael Biddle, Brian Campbell, Mike Wild,
Here.
Jenny Sullivan, here, Michael Grasso,
Present.
Dan Bruno,
Here.
Mary King,
Here.
Nick Kaimano,
Here.
Dave O'Brien.
Here.
Okay, we have 8, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The first item of business is review and approval of the Buck County Biscotti resolution to accept the project. You have it in front of you. I hope you've all reviewed it. So at this point, I look for a motion to put this on the floor.
I'll move it.
Moved by Grasso, second by Dan Bruno. Any comments, questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, is the timeline realistic for them getting this in according to the resolution? Or should we add on a few more months? Is it June where they're supposed to be completed?
It is June.
Yeah, that's the date that was in the application.
Yeah.
So
And if they don't hit that June, they come back before the board, we revise the resolution. Is that the process?
So this resolution is subject to 2 contingents. It's subject to, with respect to the pilot, the approval of the town. And with respect to there's no seeker determination. So in order to proceed with this project, we have to have environmental determination made. Traditionally, we have adopted what the town approves when the project goes through the planning board. So
go ahead.
this is the board's approval of moving forward, but contingent upon those 2 items. So we won't be able to move forward with anything until such time as they've completed their planning board review, and we will reconvene on this topic and adopt the findings that the planning board does with respect to the environmental and to be in compliance with seeker.
I was just notified this morning, by the way, that the town of Kingsbury did pass a resolution on approving the pilot for Biscotti Monday night. So we should be getting that hopefully soon in the proper resolution. So that part has been met pending formal notification.
I think Craig's comments are clearly right on, because if they haven't even gotten all their ducks in a row as far as planning and then construction, and who knows what materials are going to look like in the first and second quarter, June could be a wish list. Probably August, September would probably be, more realistic, but I leave that to you.
I think we have some time before the final resolution to figure out what their timing is. They'll have a better sense of the planning board and the seeker. I know they're working closely with the planning board from code enforcement from town of Kingsbury. So
I see Riley's on here. Would Riley like to comment?
oh,
on the optimism?
Did you?
Hey, sorry, I just jumped on. I might have missed the opening.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, if I may, Riley, I was just questioning if June 1st is too optimistic for completion of construction. If we could put it to a later date so that we don't have to amend anything.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Okay. But I would look to council for any advice on that.
We can amend the completion date based on, their I guess thoughts on when they're going to be complete. I mean, that date is something we don't set. That's something that's in the application. So that's where, that date came from. So if they want to amend that and indicate that they think it'll be a longer period of time, then we can certainly adjust that. We can adjust it now, or like the chairman said, we can come back and adjust it when the planning board approval is completed. And then we probably really have a better idea of how long the construction will take. I don't know. Riley, do you know when you're going to be able to submit to the planning board?
I'm hoping by the end of, likely by the end of December, by the middle end of December, we would be submitting everything. I understand that it's about somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks for prep time on that. And then after, in terms of breaking ground, so there are obviously sort of parallel timelines going. Part of that would also be that the fabrication of all the steel would be taking place during that time, sort of under the development of the foundation. So, I mean, I would be happy to, if you wanted to, if it was easier for everybody, if you wanted to push it back to something like July or August. My question would be, if it's completed ahead of that time, that won't cause any issues for the application.
Right. If you complete it in advance, there's no problem. If you need additional time, then you'll have to come back to the board, request that additional time, because all of your sales tax exemption documents will expire on that time, in that time frame.
Okay, then then let's definitely, I mean, just for simplicity, let's definitely push that then.
Okay, so the question is, do we want to do it now? Does someone make an amendment to push it back to September? Or
I'll amend my my motion.
What's
Mike,
the,
Kara?
what is the completion date?
I believe September would provide more than enough time.
Okay, so Mike, you're amending your motion to make it completion of September, into September.
Yeah, that's what I had thought to be, when we were talking just a few minutes ago. I don't know if Riley heard us talking, but I thought September would be a more appropriate date. And certainly I will amend my motion to make September 30th the date.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Yeah.
Dan Bruno? Okay, on the motion to amend the completion date to the end of September. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, any other questions on the original amendment as amended? Initial resolution, original resolution as amended. Okay, on the original motion as amended, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. So that one is taken care of. It was a wild celebration party last night, so.
In Hampton,
In Hampton,
they're
Got
known for
elected.
those.
Who got
I beat
elected?
I beat my nearest competitor by 89 times.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Our next item is take up the resolution taking preliminary action towards undertaking a certain project as defined herein, appointing Flyin Dutch Enterprises as agent of the agency for the purpose of constructing, equipping, and the project facility as defined herein. So I would like to get a motion to introduce this to the floor. Town of Chester. Craig makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mike Grasso and Dan Bruno. All right, discussion. Yes, Craig.
Again, is the date on this accurate, do you think, for the construction early in 2022?
Pardon?
There's some news that came out yesterday from the board, the Cannabis Control Board. They're saying that they're claiming that they're going to be about 12 to 16 months out from licensing. That got a lot of pushback from what we're hearing today. So with that being said, I think that realistically, they're not going to be accepting applications for about 12 months from now.
Okay.
So I guess we got to change that.
Yeah.
What was the date in here? I don't remember.
March 1st, 2022.
Okay, so that I know. So are your plans to continue construction prior to that, or?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so he's going to continue the construction, so.
We plan on filing permits before the end of the year,
Okay,
and there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the building. So,
And
okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may ask,
Yes, Craig.
you're going to be retrofitting all the buildings on that property?
yeah, there's two buildings. There's a
Yep.
14,000 square feet, 25,000 square feet. Both buildings will be construction renovations.
What would be a realistic end date for doing that construction?
The mechanism that we're waiting on is from the control board, Cannabis Control Board, to give us their bylaws and regulations as far as their canopy sizes. And based on those canopy sizes, we're going to be able to alter our construction. So we'll be in a holding pattern until those regulations come out, which are expected in the next 6 to 7 months. They will be published, obviously, well before they're accepting applications. So there's like a phase 1 that we're going to try to do to these buildings. And then we probably will have to stop. We can't frame out the buildings until we see these regulations, because we don't know the canopy sizes of the rooms that we'll be allowed to have.
having heard that, then I would assume that an amendment to this to put that out to March of 2023 would be probably appropriate.
It would seem, and there's a lot of lag time there, but it would definitely give enough time to complete the building if everything goes as planned, and there's no problem with completing it before that end date.
Okay.
Should I make a motion to amend that date?
A motion by Craig to amend that date to March of 2023, completion date. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That.
Mary King seconds. Any further discussion on the amendment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Nick abstains. Thank you. Okay, back to the original motion and resolution as amended. Are there any further comments?
I just had one question, if I may. What is the likelihood of you being awarded a permit from the state?
I would say 90%.
What's that based on?
Based on the early findings that the MRTA has published, based on the support of James Griffin and the town, and based on the position and location of this facility, I believe that it's in the 90 percentile.
Thanks.
Okay, any further questions? All right, all in favor of the resolution as amended?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Carried, thank you. Thanks, Tim. Next item is ICC 4. I need to finish these. Let me finish this special meeting before I get to the next one. This will be quick. ICC 4 is in the process of refinancing their operation. In accordance with lease, we need to pass a subordination resolution so that it could, we subordinate to the mortgage. So Kara, any comments on this one?
No, we've been requested to do this in the past. It's a procedural issue that when they run title, our lease agreements appear on record, and they want to be the primary, the first lien on the property, and they, if they, in the event they need to foreclose. So we're just saying that their mortgage takes priority over our lease, the payment of that, etc.
And the one thing that we have asked in this is they escrow their taxes. We've had problems collecting their pilot payments, so we've asked to escrow it. Kara's working with their bank and their ICC 4 in accomplishing that. So we'll go from there.
So as of yesterday, they indicated that they will allow ICC 4 to a tax escrow, but that they're not going to be, the bank won't be the party responsible for making the pilot payments. So in, say, a residential escrow situation, the borrower pays in each month, and then when the taxes are due, the bank pays on the borrower's behalf. In this case, the bank is saying, we'll set up a separate account and they can make monthly payments into that account, but we're not going to necessarily manage that. And it's still going to be up to ICC 4 to make those payments and ultimately make the pilot payment. There is language in the subordination that says that in the event of a default, that we are required to notify the bank as well. So should their next pilot payment be untimely, we would notify the bank as well, indicating that that payment has not yet been made.
Who manages that escrow account and who writes the checks and who can see what's in it?
It's honestly, it sounds not like a true escrow account. It sounds like the bank says they can set it up and they're going to be responsible to make those payments. It sounds like the bank won't be managing it at all. They'll just allow them to set up a separate account. I'm trying to get more details because it didn't sound like a true escrow situation.
Exactly. If it's not managed by the bank, then
Right.
there's no guarantee on, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
If, Mr. Chairman, if there is no real escrow from the bank side of things, does the IDA have any authority to be able to set up an escrow situation in agreement with them? Or is that way too late? And this is just the refinance. And if I may ask also for Carol, is this similar to what we did with Fort Hudson not too long ago? Finance,
We did with North Country.
North Country. Okay.
I don't remember what we did with Fort Hudson, to be honest, sorry.
Well, what we'll have to do is if we can't get an agreeable escrow, we'll have to start every time we send a pilot payment
Flashing back.
notice that we send them a notice of recapture if they don't pay their taxes on the date they're due.
Okay.
I mean, the history is pretty bad on this.
I mean, to answer your question, do we have any, technically, I mean, we could say as part of a recapture event, we could say in lieu of recapture, we'll require you to set up this escrow account. That's an administrative undertaking on the part of the IDA. And I mean, unless they're cooperative, you'll deal with the same thing each month if they're not making that, 1/12 payment towards the taxes when they become due. So, I mean, I do think that this language in the subordination that requires us to notify the bank on a default is somewhat helpful because we would just send a notice to their bank and say they're also in default on their tax payments, which the bank certainly doesn't want them to be in default on that.
What is the pushback from the bank on having a true escrow account? Or is it because it wasn't set up originally?
I think in commercial, I just don't see it that often.
Okay, we'll work out the details to make sure we're paid on time. I mean,
Yeah.
In some cases, they paid us 7-8 months late. So we'll see. All right, so I need a motion to the subordination.
So
Motion
moved.
by Craig, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Dan Bruno. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, last item of business for a special meeting, before we go to the executive park meeting, is we've had a request from North Country to terminate the lease agreement and pilot agreement between North Country Property Holdings and Warren Washington IDA. This is understood at this time that the termination will eliminate any abatements received by the pilot agreement and that the current tax exemption will also be voided. Pursuant to the terms of the lease agreement dated August 12, 2014, it is requested deed be transferred back to North Country Holdings. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, signed James Keller, owner. Now, there is no deed, it's just a termination of lease. I would suggest that in doing this, we also put on this condition that before we release the lease, that all taxes due and owing be paid before we release that lease. Okay, so I would accept the motion with those terms.
I'll motion based on those terms.
Motion by Mike, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Craig and Dan. Any further discussion?
So, Mr. Chairman, This means that there's no more pilot for North Country?
That's correct.
And are they terminating early?
They're terminating lease early, that's correct.
Any,
They're about 5 or 6 years.
yeah. And that's advantageous for them? They desire to do that? Own free will?
No comment because I don't have any direct answer to that.
Okay,
My assumption they would do it based on this is in their best interest.
I would assume the same. Okay,
Okay,
You might assume that they're going to sell the property or do something different with financing.
yeah. That would be also my assumption, but I have not heard anything concrete. All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I will now close the public, special meeting. And I would like to open the executive park meeting.
Okay.
I'd like to move up front. We have with us a potential company to work with for our services and financial assistance. Mike, could you introduce Brookfield, please?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. We have with us today representatives from Brookfield Renewable Energy, Tony and Julie. I see that you're on. Can you hear us?
I can, yeah.
Okay. Let me introduce you to most of the members of the IDA board. What we were looking for from one of you is just to briefly describe the project that we have discussed over the last couple of weeks and potentially answer any questions that the board may have.
Sure. Julie, you want me to go or are you going to go?
Yeah, you can go because you know more.
All right. Well, thanks for inviting us to this meeting. As Michael said, we're representing Brookfield Renewable U.S. operations. Currently, we own and operate multiple assets, mostly hydro, at least associated with this project throughout the U.S. Large presence in New York and New England in particular. We currently have our National System Control Center, which remotely monitors and operates all of the assets that we have in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And we've made the decision that we need to leave the area just because of cost and a bunch of other reasons. And looking to relocate the National Control Center to the Queensbury area. As probably most of you are aware, we have our operational headquarters for the U.S. Located in Queensbury already, and it just seems like it's the right fit to bring the control center there as well. So it's about 50 jobs. Probably 2/3 are the operations folks and supervisors associated with the 24/7 operation, and the rest are IT and regulatory support functions for the control center.
Okay. It's always nice to see a company moving into the Queensbury area and have more employees and more assessment to help the area out. So do we have any questions for Tony or Julie? Greg?
Thank you. So this is operations you're moving into, and you would be, are you looking to build new or retrofit?
No, build new. The idea would be to build something close to, or actually we're in discussions with a potential landlord to build next door. So we're looking at a lot right next door to the existing office on Big
Okay.
Bay.
Okay. This is in line with the new guidance from New York State, where they want IDAs to assist green energy to move into the state. So we've also done a couple of the hydropower projects over the past. I don't think we have any current ones, but there was one we did for a while. So, but that was a long time ago. So Tony and Julie, thank you for coming. You know, I think that looking at what we've talked about, is that something that the project that would fit right into our mission? So I know we're looking forward to an application from you, so we can get this process started completely.
Yeah, we're in the middle of applying, filling it out. So hopefully we'll have something here in the very near future to submit.
Okay. I know there's too many pages in that. We got to streamline that.
Yeah, I definitely needed some help.
Yeah. Any further questions for Tony or Julie? Well, thank you for coming. I'm sorry we didn't get to you right away, but we had some things we had to complete.
No problem. Thank you for inviting us.
Okay, Tony, Julie,
Yeah.
take care.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Bye-bye. Okay, potential project updates, TDI. They're still chewing through the paperwork. They're having a meeting Zoom meeting with some of the towns that be affected to outline the construction process they're going to start, especially those in Dresden, Whitehall, Putnam, and Fort Anne. So they're going to outline with the projects we're going to do. They're doing that tomorrow night. So they're planning their process. They're planning to start construction. It's all pre-construction part of it. So that's as much as I know at this point. We have three very active prospects for the dewatering facility, or Canal Side Energy Park. We should probably call that Canal Side Energy Park project, that are going quite well. I will, when I can, release the information. Actually, when I can, because it's public information. One is a company who is, it's a consortium that's doing Build Back Better program. And they're working in conjunction with NYSERDA, Department of Energy, as well as a big consulting firm out of Denver, and a manufacturer of energy efficient products. So that's in the first phase. They get into the first phase. If they get accepted in the first phase, then they go to the second phase, where the second phase, the Build Back Better program, is doing the technical specs and the outlines of it and moving forward. So that's in process. We have two others that may be on a faster track than those. So, but we'll let you know as we can release information. Any comments, questions? Tom, do you have any update on delineation?
The process is moving along smoothly, I believe now. The meets and bounds are being described by the surveyor. John Connell has what he needs to move his aspect along, I believe. And North Country Ecological Services is reviewing a couple of details that John wanted. So I believe it's moving smoothly.
Okay. Any idea when the surveyor is going to complete the meets and bounds?
We were given a tentative next week. I'm hoping that is still true.
Okay. Thank you. I'd like to get this done before John goes into the retirement mode.
Absolutely. We all agree.
I hate to break in a new person after all this time from an Army Corps engineer. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Tom?
No, not from my end.
We did do an RFQ, request qualifications, for sewer and water at the dewatering facility. Response on that's due on December 10th. With that, and one of these companies that is looking to, we are then going to take that and apply for, one of the companies coming in has agreed to be a beneficiary for the project. With that beneficiary statement, we can now apply to EDA for money to do the sewer and water. So those responses are supposed to be done by December 10th. So we'll evaluate those and move forward with the engineering and the sewer and the water. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Tom.
Take
Thanks
care.
for coming.
Good, Tom.
Hey, guys.
IDA executive meeting, I need approval of the October 6th, 2021 minutes for the IDA executive part. Do I have such motion?
So moved.
Moved by Craig.
Dave,
Yes.
the executive part doesn't have a quorum because Mr. Wild left, so we can't vote on anything.
Okay, I didn't notice he left. Okay. All right, so we can't vote on anything, but go through here. Executive director's report.
Yes, in addition to Brookfield, I've met with a couple of potential clients, one yesterday, one coming up on Thursday. So hopefully we will be able to sign both of those and get that process going. Have given my input in rewriting some of the IDA bylaws and shared those with Dave. I'm currently in the process of reaching out to some communication firms and talking to them about possibly working with us to highlight what the IDA does to the area. And then finally, I put together a draft 5-year plan for the IDA that I shared with the chairman and the vice chairman and the secretary. I'm happy to share it with any board members. If they'd like to read it, please just let me know. And that's all I have for right now.
Okay. Bylaw changes. I passed the changes of bylaws out. I would like the executive committee to review those and get me any comments so we can move it forward. Most of the major changes, adding the staff positions in there. Follow litigation. Our submission back to them is supposed to be this week. So we'll go from there. New York State local retirement system. There's 2 questions asked. I have the answers to 2 questions. One is that could we make a lump sum payment on the deficiency? Answer is yes. Second is that amount given the amount we can expect going forward? It was not based on a prorated salary, it was based on going forward. Okay. So we'll go from there. New business we already covered. Any other comments or anything anyone wants to discuss? Okay. With that, I'll adjourn the IDA executive part meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
And our next regular meeting is coming up on the when?
On the 18th.
15th, 22nd. What,
I think you were looking at October calendar.
yeah,
It's
the 20th,
November 15th.
15.
November 15th. Thank you. Just
Okay.
confirming. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Be good. Be well.
See you, Nick.